Hello everyone, how are you? Now today we're going to talk about how to draw body language that sparks emotion. Now I know this is something that a lot of us have some difficulty because it's so much easier to just draw your character standing than doing something else. But it is important to draw our character with a bit of a flow and more dynamic poses because it will make them more interesting and it will help the other people that see your drawings get to know your character a little bit better. So my first tip to do this is by acting out the emotion. So take photos or videos of you or a friend acting the emotion you want to portray. In my opinion, this is easier than looking just for references because this way you have exactly what you want to find. It makes things much easier than just spending 3 hours and finding that perfect pose that you want for your character. So if you don't find anything that you like or that you want, act it out. Take photos of yourself, make a video, or ask for a friend to help you with that. This is my first tip. My second tip is to practice gesture drawing. I always say this, but gesture drawing will always help you a lot in capturing the pose. You're not focusing on the anatomy details, but on the pose, and that's what you're looking for right now. You want to show emotion through the pose of your character, so focus on that. Focus on the line of action and on the movement of the whole pose. As you see here, I have here some random gestures that I did the other day. We have here this line, push up the limits and the boundaries, don't be afraid to exaggerate them. The more you exaggerate the pose, the more expressive it will be, so don't be afraid of that. Practice some gesture and you'll see that your poses will be much better. Now, if you need some help to find some references and to practice your gesture drawings, of course, again, you can just take pictures of yourself, find some images, and I think this is the best way to go about is to find these websites. You have lineofaction.com. You just need to choose what kind of models you want, if you want nude models or covered models. I think especially at the beginning, nudes is better because you're just seeing the body, there's no clothing hiding the body, and you can understand better the flow of the pose, the movement, and the shapes you need to, and maybe later on add the clothing, but it's totally up to you. If you want female or male models or both, what ages do you want? And finally, how long do you want each picture to be up? So I say usually 2 minutes or less, unless you want to go for something more detailed, but if you want to just capture quick poses, go for the 2 minutes or less than that and just click get drawing, and there we go. You start seeing a lot of poses here and you just need to start drawing. So this will help you get better at drawing expressive poses, and it's also very good warm-up. Another website like this that I really recommend is sketchdaily.net. So it's reference.sketchdaily.net. It's basically the same kind of system. You just choose what kind of model you want, if you want them clothed or not, and so on. You choose the timer and it starts, and you're going to get lots of references for you to watch with the timer. So when that 1 minute goes, it will change the picture. So you can't really cheat. Like, you can cheat a little bit, but let's try not to cheat and just do that timer and draw the pose in that 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so focus on some gesture drawing and you'll see that you'll get better at this. Next tip, and I talked a little bit about this, is to exaggerate the poses. Again, when you're finding references, try not to draw exactly what you're seeing. I mean, this is an interesting pose, sure, but can we go beyond that? I wonder. We can pick up the pose and exaggerate that line of action even more. So don't be afraid to push the poses, go beyond bounds even if necessary, because you'll understand where the limit is and how far can you go to give more expression to your poses. So try that out. Don't copy exactly what you see. Try to exaggerate the poses. Alright, so my next tip, and this is a fun one, is to draw some pillows or bags of flour. This is actually done when you're learning animation. You pick up a pillow or a bag of flour and try to imagine it or even stand it in specific poses. The idea here is for you to convey emotion and gesture with a very simple shape. And as you can see here, we can get quite a lot of interesting shapes just by imagining what the pillow is feeling like. So for example, we have here this pillow running. She's a bit stressed out, she needs to hurry up. And as you can see, these are very flowy and simple lines. It's a very simple shape and you can do so much with it. We have here our sad pillow, so it has his head down or its imaginary hair down. The arms also go downwards. She's very deflated. Something went very bad in her day. I mean, you have so much stuff. You have, whoa, what's this? She's a bit surprised. We have a very proud pillow over here. Look at her little arms curving, the chest puffing out. So you see, with very simple lines and shapes, you can make a simple object very expressive. Alright, so my next tip is to write something down. You don't need to write something. I think that when you're drawing a character, their movements should translate what they're feeling or what they're doing, but sometimes writing something down will help you figure out better how your character should be moving, where everything should be, what kind of expression should they be wearing. Try to imagine a situation and write down some balloons so you can imagine a little bit better, so you have a real concept of the situation and know how to draw it better. Not only this, you can simulate something like this, like your characters interacting and using some balloons so they're talking. Sometimes you can just go to your phone and write some dialogue if it helps you. But not only this, not only simulating dialogues, but also write down your character. I'm always saying this, but writing down your character, knowing their personality, their backstory, what they do, what do they like, what they do not like, where they are. These kinds of things will help you a lot into conveying emotion and expression to your characters, because once you know them, you know how they will stand, what kind of things they do, and it's easier for you to draw them in those situations. So now that you have a good body language on your character, it's time to improve your original character design even further. So I've created this video where you can check out what are some easy ways that you can improve your character. So be sure to check it out, and as always, keep on drawing.